So we have traversed to the land of RID, and RID refers to how we would implement a pronoun into a Spanish sentence. So in Spanish we have three types of pronouns: reflexive, indirect object pronouns, which replace the indirect object of a sentence, and direct object pronouns, which replace the direct object of a sentence. These, in order, stand for the RID up here. So reflexive pronouns are only used with reflexive verbs. So like if I said me levanto, all that means is that I get up. And so I would just, they have to agree to the same person. So like me levanto, it's basically I get myself up. So I get I get up myself. Okay? So that's all with reflexives. And then in order, the pronouns that you would use are me, te, se, nos, os, se. For the IOPs, which I'm going to call indirect object pronouns IOPs and direct object pronouns DOPs from now on. So for the IOPs, you have me, te, le, nos, os, les. And they replace the indirect object of a sentence. So if I wanted to say, I give the ball to you, then here I would have te doy la pelota. Doy means I give, la pelota means the ball, and then te, since it comes before the verb, it means to you in that case. So this means I give the ball to you. For a DOP, it replaces the direct object of a sentence. And the pronouns you use for that are me, te, lo or la, depending on the gender of the noun you're trying to express. Nos, os, los, las. Again, depending on the gender. So if I said lo quieres, that would mean you love him, for example. Okay? Now, you may be confused. What's the difference between IOP? What's the difference between an indirect object and a direct object of the sentence? The way I like to think of it is that the direct object receives the verb, so it's affected directly by the verb, and then the indirect object is directly affected by the direct object, and then through, I guess you could say, transitive property, if you're a mathematician, then it's indirectly affected by the verb, right? Because in this sentence here, I'm not giving you away, I'm giving the ball to you. So through the act of giving the ball, you are indirectly affected because you are the receiver of that ball. Okay, whatever it would be, whatever it is. Okay, so if you can use two pronouns of different types in the same sentence. When you do this, the order does matter, but that's not hard to remember because you just go in this order: RID, reflexive, indirect, direct. Okay? So if I said you wash your hands, to wash oneself is a reflexive, lavarse. So, as you can see here, I color-coded, underlined them. When I say you wash your hands, you wash, like if I said you wash yourself in general, it would just be te lavas. Okay? Now if I add your hands to the picture, hands in Spanish is las manos. So it's feminine, so you would go down here and you would pick las, right? Not los because it's not masculine, but las. And you have to put that in between the reflexive pronoun here, and then it still has to come before the verb. So it goes right there. So te las lavas means you wash your hands. You can also use an indirect object pronoun and a DOP in the same sentence as well. So if I say you give the ball to me, okay, it's kind of similar to this. But if I say you give the ball to me, again, you give is the verb, das, here. The ball is the direct object because the ball is being given. So, and then the ball is la pelota, so you have la from la pelota. And then to me is the indirect object because you're indirectly affected. And so to me, we go here and we see it's me. So when you put them in the order, the indirect object goes before the direct object. So you have me la das. So literally, you give it to me. Now, when you have an IOP and DOP combined, and you come across the fact that where you have, both of the pronouns start with an L. So if I said, if I said you give the ball to him, theoretically it would be le la das. However, in Spanish, when you have that, when you have both starting with L, the indirect object pronoun changes to se. So instead of le la das, you would have se la das. It's just so that the fluency of the sentence is more pronounced and you don't stutter when you speak. Lastly, what if you have two verbs and either one or two pronouns? So if I said you should send me the letter, I guess you could say to should is deber, and then to send is mandar. Okay? So you should send is debes mandar, literally translated. The direct object in the sentence is the letter because it is directly being sent. So the letter is, I think, no, what's the letter? I'm sorry, I think, let's say it's, okay, I'm sorry, but I know it's feminine. Okay, here, I'll look it up. But as I talk. So the letter is feminine, so you use the word la. You use the la for the pronoun. And then, since you're sending the letter to me, you have me as that pronoun there. Well, I'm sorry, I don't know what the letter is in Spanish. It might be tarjeta, but I'm not exactly sure. But, so anyways, if let's just work with the sentence. We have me la debes mandar. That's a correct sentence, right? Because you have the two verbs. The pronouns have to come before the verbs, and they come in the direct order. They come in the right order. Now, this debes mandármela is also correct. Okay? Because if you have these, you can attach these to the end of the infinitive. Okay? When you do have two pronouns here, you must add this, you have to have the accent over the AR, ER, or IR in that case. Because you have to have the accent where where it would naturally fall, the accent, it's not correct, so you have to add an accent. Also, you can add this to a present progressive, so I said, if I wanted to say, estoy mandándola, I am sending the letter currently. Again, you'd have to add the accent on the ando or the e in yendo. Okay, so that's basically that. Again, I'm sorry for not knowing what the letter is, but anyways, but if you just use that, then the letter is la carta, yes. So la carta is feminine, so that's why you use la. Okay, sorry for that. Anyways, so that's our ID for you. Yeah, if you know this, you should be fine.